Adnan Syed is a free man tonight. 22 years ago, he was convicted of killing his ex-girlfriend, Min Lee. A Baltimore Circuit judge has vacated his murder conviction in the case that became the focus of the tremendously popular podcast Serial back in 2014. Syed was released from prison Monday, placed on home detention. He's got GPS monitoring. So let's dig a little deeper into the details on this case with Independent Women's Forum senior legal fellow May Mailman and criminal defense attorney David Bruno discussing what is on the docket tonight. Guys, thanks so much for being with us. May,
always a pleasure, Jillian.
Of course, the state is taking pains here to point out that they are not declaring Syed an innocent man. They are not overturning his a conviction. What they are saying essentially here is that he just didn't get a fair trial.
Yeah, I'm not sure I totally buy that because they really do lay out the case for why a conviction would not be reasonable here. And at first I was pretty surprised to see the city prosecutor try and vacate this conviction where you do have a jury conviction, you have an appeals court affirming that conviction, and you even have the Maryland Supreme Court saying that Syed's lawyers provided effective assistance of counsel. But then if you realize who the Maryland prosecutor is, this is one of the original Soros-backed prosecutors who spends her days letting people out of jail rather than putting people in jail. So no innocent person deserves to be in jail, and I really do hope that this action was based on the facts and not her desire to become a celebrity of the moment because she is looking for a job. The prosecutor was recently primaried and lost, and so she needs to get invited to some fancy dinner parties.
Wow, David. So, David, it sounds like May is saying there's a lot of politics in play here. What do you think?
Well, look, I'm a former homicide prosecutor. I'm on the defense side now, and I agree with this decision. You know, let's not forget this is a prosecutor's motion, but there were Brady violations. And what Brady means is that a prosecutor is obligated to provide the defense attorneys with any exculpatory evidence that supports either innocence or the credibility attacks on any other witnesses. And what we've found is that the defense attorney did not get provided two suspects that previously threatened the victim, as well as one of the suspects forcefully raped an individual, another suspect unprovoked assaulted an individual.
Yeah, there's some real
there was a
reliability
detective
questions.
that had misconduct, and also the cell phone records were unreliable. So there are a number of things that support this, and I support what the judge did because the defense attorney didn't get that Brady information.
May, wasn't there also this issue with Syed's original attorney lied to him? I mean, she was given a piece of evidence, a letter written by a woman who was his alibi on the night of the murder, the afternoon of the murder. Not only did she not submit that, but she never followed up with the woman who wrote the letter and lied to Syed and told him that she did.
Well, Syed definitely has had his bite at the apple to try and use that ineffective assistance of counsel claim, and that's the one that made it to the Maryland Supreme Court, which, decided not to give him a new trial on that information. And, I, like a lot of people in this country, listened to the Serial podcast. I had a lot of questions about the prosecutor's case, but I also saw that there was a lot of evidence there to convict too, and I wasn't on the jury. I didn't see the witnesses. I wasn't there to weigh the credibility, but those jurors were, and in this country really do need to give juror decisions quite a bit of weight.
Interesting. David, what do you say to that?
Man was in jail for 20 years. And it's surfaced now that the defense attorney did not have that Brady information. And I think he does deserve a new trial. And we'll see how it all shakes out. I mean, the victim's vehicle was also found in one of those other suspects' family members' property, which is another fact that really cuts against that conviction. And I think it's the right thing to do. This man was let out of the courtroom, out of his handcuffs, and was able to leave right then and there. I've really never seen that before.
And a pretty astonishing footage that we got to see there. May and David, thanks so much for staying up late with us tonight to dig through all this. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks.